Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. In startup fundraising, there are 4 distinct groups to consider for funding. The list includes venture capital, angel investors, angel groups, and family offices. Here's the comparison of each source. Venture capital. VCs have their diligence process and will take some time to complete it. They write $150K to $500K checks on the first round, and they are very sensitive to valuation. They often require board seats, and they provide the most support of any investor type. Angel investors. They can make decisions quickly. They write $25 to $50K checks. They tend not to be swayed by valuation as much as other investors. They rarely require board seats, and they provide the least support. Angel groups. They have a process that will take some time to complete. They write $100K to $500K checks for a typical deal. They can be sensitive to valuation. They sometimes require board seats, and they provide some support. And family offices. They can act like angels and move quickly, or they may have a more detailed process. They write $100K to $250K checks on the first round. They can be sensitive to valuation, and they sometimes require board seats, and they provide some support. Consider these factors for your fundraise in selecting your target investor. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start us into today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.